All right, guys, we're officially live. Rosie.
I'm live as well. I'm trying to get Instagram go live going on, but hello,
Uh-huh.
everyone. Hi, everyone. Rosie, Roger, and Bree with Rivet Real Estate. We are excited to spend this afternoon with you again. And today, we are going to share with you three things. Number one, Roger is going to go over some latest and best news that is not readily available to general public in real estate. I mean, it's a whole different experience when you are someone who have their fingertip on the pulse of what is coming next, and you know before anybody where to invest or buy real estate. And then Bree will actually share the real life properties that she handpicked after spending hours and hours online. And these properties have been evaluated in terms of value, the taxes, the rentals, the HOA fees, everything done for you. And third, I'm going to play devil's advocate. I'm going to poke holes and challenge their thoughts at times because it's important that we think like an end buyer in the market. So, without any further ado, Roger, get started.
All right. Thank you so much, Rosie. I really appreciate that. And so, guys, today's leap year day, right? February 29th.
Yay! Oh my God, February 29th.
Yeah, February 29th. So it's a special day. And we'd love to see you make the most of this extra day that we all gotten. And so we're going to jump right into the news. And look, there's a lot of stuff that's exciting and happening in the city. But can we all agree, Rosie, Bree, that investing in real estate is 99% mindset and the rest of it just kind of falls into place?
Yeah.
Right? So I just want to, and I know Rosie wasn't expecting this, but I just want to say thank you to Rosie for bringing like all this great information to the team. And I just wanted to share some of that with you guys here today. So we are going to talk about the news. The news is really important, but I think even above news is mindset, right? So Rosie does a lot of training and she studies neuroscience. And this week, the emphasis was, or what she reemphasized to us, was the idea of tracking. And we've heard about tracking. We usually start with tracking when we start a new year or fourth quarter planning, and we go into the new year thinking we're all going to do these wonderful things. And 2 weeks into the year, I think National Get Rid of Your New Year's Resolution Day is the second Friday of the year. And so if you are like me and you're thinking, okay, how do I get back in the game, right? There's several great books like a 12-week year, and which chunks the year down into 90-day segments. But Rosie actually invited the team and myself to take a look at tracking. And so, because, and maybe she can go more into this, the neuroscience behind it, that's what allows all the pieces to fall in place. And so you're going to take a look at tracking from a whole new perspective, and she can shed some insight on that. And so the number of emails you guys are opening, track the properties you're looking at, maybe track the opportunities you're saying no to, because behind so many no's, there's always a yes. Some of the greatest investors actually track more so the opportunities they're saying no to because they know they're that one step closer to that yes. So with that, let's dive into all the updates. But before we do that, I would love to hear from you guys what makes this show a great experience from you. And so if you can comment below, subscribe, share this video to anyone who you feel like would really benefit from it. So in Austin, there's a lot of buzz in the air, and it's surrounded by this new restaurant that's opened in town, and they've come from Nashville. It's called Hattie B's. They make spicy chicken, fried chicken, and I remember taking my son to Nashville, and this was one of the very first places he wanted to visit. As soon as we got out of the plane, we made a dash for Hattie B's, and now they're open on Lamar South, like I think Central South Lamar. And so they just opened yesterday. So if you haven't had a chance to, go out there and visit them now. And you know, Nashville is one of those cities that gains a lot of acclaim, or it's for their music, but they're also very investment friendly, or have been on the news a lot lately. So it's really nice to see how we're making, sharing resources, if you will, and Hattie B's is just one of those resources. Now, look, we don't do sports commentary on the show. We love the San Antonio Spurs, even though they lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves last week and 9 points. Yeah, we love our San Antonio Spurs.
Hey,
But
I know we don't discuss news, but the
yeah,
news impact people's opinion about real estate. Like if somebody's buying and they're a golf fan and they're like, I don't like what's happening right now. They
yeah,
might not even want to put an offer that week because they're so disappointed.
it really does a lot, like as far as emotions get riled up, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
around sports.
Mhm.
So now let's talk about something really potentially transformative for our region. And if there wasn't a better way to actually make our growth official, it's the possibility of a new pro baseball team.
And
Isn't that
Austin?
yeah. So get this. It comes with a little bit of drama, right? And I'm breaking the news to you here as well as the viewers online. But it's kind of pitched to Austin, San Antonio area. So they're going to be known as the Austin San Antonio team, right? And
Oh, okay.
yeah, and the people in San Antonio, they're not really too happy about this because the team is going to actually be located in East Austin. And so there's this Austin Business Journal, writer, Scott Bailey, and he thinks that the leadership in San Antonio isn't doing enough, and they keep taking these L's to Austin, these losses to Austin, and but look, I understand, and so my heart goes out to everybody in San Antonio. But I think a baseball team, guys, there's very little empty space between Austin and San Antonio. We're practically one city, anyways. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I can't wait for our Golden Triangle to become one because we drive back and forth between two cities all the time. Like it is
Yeah.
very common for people to go from San Antonio to Austin and make a day trip, who's Houston to Austin, make a day trip. Dallas takes a little longer, but
Yeah.
people who do it, they do it. So
Yeah.
a hyperloop would be nice. Elon Musk, if you're listening.
Rosie, I love how she's making a push for it.
Somebody
Uh,
needs to get to his ear fast because I don't think we enjoy driving through traffic. We can help 6 more buyers a week if we are able to just drive through one place to another faster.
yeah, that's true.
So wait, the pro baseball team is going to be in East Austin?
Yeah, it's going to be in East Austin. One of the names that's being tossed around right now is the Austin Bats.
Didn't we have a bats? Wasn't that hockey or something?
I'm sure they're using the bats in a lot of
Don't
different.
ask me. We should ask.
Yeah, I should find out more.
Sports guy, but Austin
Definitely.
doesn't have any pro teams. Well, now we have soccer, but we don't have like San Antonio has basketball.
Yeah.
And every other city has basketball except for Austin. So we deserve something.
Yeah, we're on the list of cities, right? And so now we're officially no longer a small city, and I think that it's a really good chance that we get a team, and so don't be surprised. But I would love to know from our viewers on any ideas for names in the comments. Please share what you think the name should be for our future baseball team. That would be exciting to see.
Oh, Roger, what do you think it should be?
What do I think it should be?
Yeah.
Huh. Let's see. I think something around money, like the money team. Yeah, bring it on, right? The money. So I'm thinking investor mindset. And
No, I think it would be Austin Hips.
oh, the Austin hipsters. Yeah, hey, that'd be pretty cool. I like that. That's way better than the one I suggested.
Yeah, because I don't think Austin screams money. They're like very casual, easy, laid back.
We
people.
are more.
Money just attracts to those people. What can you do?
What about you, Bree? What name did you have in mind?
The Austin Weirdos.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a lot of
weird in some aspect. We're not weird anymore sometimes.
Bree, what is that thing that dances in the playfield? What is that? I'm forgetting the name of it.
The mascot?
Mascot. Imagine a weirdo mascot. What would that look like?
Well, it would be what was that guy's name? Remember Leslie? He was the kind of like the mascot for the longest time.
I'm like thinking, what would a Austin hipster mascot look like? An Austin weirdo. I think it would be way better than Austin what? Money? I don't
Right.
know if anybody needs a
That-
mascot with
That's
money.
nowhere as creative, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
look, look,
Camera does something to Roger. He's much more funnier and more like creative.
there's different mindsets, right? There's different mindsets.
Well, look at my green teeth again. Look at that. Hey, oh shit, I
Okay.
gotta stop.
So
Okay.
so moving right along, we're looking now. You guys probably seen a lot of construction over by Oak Knoll and 183. This is the 3M building. This is 1.1 million square feet of space. It's just
Wow.
been renovated. Okay. The previous owner was Nate Paul. I think that you've probably seen him on the news. And the day that Nate Paul actually lost the property to this new company, I was there on the footsteps of the courthouse and saw it all go down, and it was pretty dramatic. So Nate Paul came in with his entourage, and they were beating pots and pans, and they were really trying to stop the auction from occurring. But this new company took charge of this property, and it was supposed to take a couple of more years to complete the project, but they finished it before the deadlines. And so it's going to be called High Point at 2222, which is really odd because 2222 is nowhere near this campus. And I was like, why couldn't they come up with a better name for this campus? Maybe like the Roger campus. I mean, it would do so much for my ego, but
all this that you're trying to self-promote yourself, I'm kind of enjoying it.
oh, really? Yeah, it's not like myself to do that, right?
No,
Yeah.
I'm married to him. 19 years next month,
Mhm.
guys. I know
Dang.
something about this guy.
Yeah. She knows me too well. So we're gonna step into Dallas for a second, and I wanted to tell you all about some few exciting. So that's what's happening in Austin. This is what's happening in Dallas. The area around Ross Avenue, Rosie, where you used to work in downtown Dallas, they're about to get quite a large investment. This company was originally planning on doing office space, but they have pivoted in the past as well. They did a project here in Austin where they were supposed to bring some office online, but they went back and changed their business model to multifamily and mixed use. So I think we're going to see a little bit more mixed use in the arts district in Dallas, and I'm kind of excited for that because that area has been kind of dry. Like if we can have a few more exciting things to do, like maybe grab a coffee in the morning or a drink in the evening and some music or food, that would be really beautiful. And along with that, there's also the Mustangs in Las Colinas. A few blocks from there is the Toyota Music Factory. They're getting a $30 million facelift. And so we're really excited to see what happens there, right? There's going to be more exciting things to do. And so I know that area used to be really dry, not a whole lot to do around the Mustangs, and wasn't very walkable, the Mustangs at Las Colinas. But now, that place attracts so many visitors, those Mustangs swimming in that water.
Yeah, it's like a highlight. That's where my first job was in States, like those Mustangs. I felt like I nailed the location to work at.
Yeah.
Didn't know what it would feel like working inside the building, but outside it felt so good.
Yeah.
Like it's a gorgeous. Have you been there, Bree?
I've been
Irving, Texas. Oh my God, Las Colinas buildings, they have like big horses in a running position and they have fountains everywhere. And it's like a highlight of that area in Irving.
Yeah. And so the Texas Instrument Building along I-35 and 75, you can see their signage from the highway. They're spending $120 million on renovations to their 500,000 square feet of space. And that's expected to be completed by 2027. Now, I don't know if a lot of people know this or not, but Texas Instrument is the company that invented the integrated circuit, or what we would call the chip. They invented the chip, and they're spending billions of dollars north of Dallas. And Texas Instrument is planning to spend $5 billion a year on capital expenditures in the years to come.
Wow.
So
$5
it's flowing. $5 billion.
Wow.
$5 billion.
What I'm realizing, I would be curious to know a lot of these buildings. First of all, who gets a facelift? The one who's looking for the attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in buildings. So, well, it's true. Otherwise, too, you know.
Yeah.
I meant when you smile, you get a facelift and you get attention, right? On a separate note, a building is invested $5 billion to get a facelift, right? It means they're looking for the new tenants to prefer them. And I've also heard from investors and developers that they're converting these office buildings into mixed use properties. I mean, there could be restaurants and retail downstairs and housing and work upstairs. Like they're even coming up with plans where they can have apartments and work in the same building and have elevators running up and down. And I think this is how they kind of plan on remedying the work from home issue, because a lot of people who have gone home are not coming back. And it does compromise work culture in terms of team building, because not every work can be done as effectively remotely.
Yeah.
And there is some magic that happens when people just come together. So
Right.
I feel like our work society is actively thinking and remedying that.
Yeah. No, I think people are really inclined to have more fun now,
Yeah.
uh, and a real estate. The transformation of real estate is just so obvious that that's what we're trying to do. Now, a couple of things I want to touch on in Dallas before I jump to Houston. There's really exciting news, and I just can't believe that we're sitting at the head of all this change that we're about to experience, guys. I really don't think everything that we're seeing and experiencing is going to be the same in the years to come. It's going to be something that we look at and say, "Wow, I can't believe all this has happened." So we're at the head of that right now. And just one sign of the drastic change that's ready to come is the talk of all of this public transportation, right?
Yeah,
So,
I'm
so
excited for that.
yeah. So DART's investing $55 million in their downtown headquarters in Dallas. That's just a sign of like all the infrastructure and the change and everything that they're looking for in the next 20 years, right? We invest all that money because we see something in the horizon. So it's very promising to me to see that the public transportation and the money being spent around that is a good sign. Now, talking about transportation, south of Dallas is an area called Lancaster. And we enter Lancaster as we're driving out of Austin. So driving to Austin to Dallas, you would go through Lancaster. And Lancaster connects I-35 with I-20. And I-20 connects east to west coast, right? So it's a major thoroughway for transportation, and they're getting a transportation center. And I think that's just beautiful because all of our goods here, Austin's not located on an interstate, and manufacturing is usually taking place along interstate corridors. And so the fact that we're, all of this infrastructure is going in place and we're not far from there, I think it's very promising on our what our future has to hold.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing news.
Really, really exciting stuff. So shifting gears to Houston, guys, and I think this is just going to be the way that we report the news from now on. Grand Parkway in Houston, the outer loop, is causing a lot of expansion. Conroe just approved $2 billion in bond money. This is the most money that they've ever, that they've ever approved, and the voters approved almost on entirely all of the plans. And so you can expect 2 new schools to go in, and I think they're going to be spending roughly about $80 to $90 million on these two new elementary schools, $45 million a piece roughly. And then Sam Houston State in Conroe, that has a specialty around health sciences. They're spending $70 million on, I guess, some campus area or some new buildings and infrastructure that's going in there. So if you're looking for expansion, I think, look, Conroe used to be kind of a little far off. The Woodlands used to be a little far off, but I think the Grand Parkway is now connecting all of that, and proximity is power, right?
Yeah.
And lastly, Houston, we just launched a lunar mission to Houston, and
What?
NASA, and so it's sitting there on the moon now. But NASA paid $118 million to this company for launching this, and this company's called Intuitive Machines. They're out of Houston, So they got $118 million for carrying 6 payloads to the moon. And up next is our local company here to, Cedar Park, Firefly. They're going to be launching a mission soon as well. So,
for the listeners who are listening to these news, I want to connect a dot here. Some of you might be wondering, like, where is the connection between real estate and the news?
yeah,
Around 10 years ago, I was sitting with City of Austin development meeting, and they mentioned this one key indicator of market doing well. They said, doesn't matter what numbers are saying, doesn't matter is a recession, not a recession. People call it recession, when the GDP goes down or up, right? Like that formula. But we got to look at things objectively. So whenever there is job growth, the housing will just do fine. If people have jobs and they have means to make a mortgage payment, the market is not going to collapse. It might not be as expedited. You don't want the market to be as expedited as we have been in last 3 years because it's difficult to afford it. Could you imagine your property values going up 10%, 15% every year when your job and wages are not? Like 90% of our population is affording homes through their jobs. And if their income is not going up, they're being priced out of the market aggressively.
Yeah.
Right. So just to help connect this dot one more time, $5 billion of renovations, $180 million in NASA projects. What does it indicate? It indicates people being hired.
Yeah.
A rocket doesn't launch itself on moon by itself. There are hundreds of hours, sleepless nights that are spent by researchers, scientists, engineers to make it all happen.
Yeah.
And more things like this are underlying indicative of good job market. If job market does well, housing will do great.
Yeah. So really in a nutshell, Rosie, Bree, that's what's going on in the state. And one of the most exciting things that I didn't mention this week, I mentioned it prior, was the $5 billion children's hospital going in Dallas, right? So I feel like $5 billion hospital on Harry Hines and I-35. And so I can't imagine how much care that's going to provide or what the systems and all the technology they're going to bring, because how do you spend $5 billion on a hospital without it being like iconic, right?
And why are they thinking it's okay to build one?
Yeah.
What do they see coming?
What do they see coming is exactly it.
Is the main question, because hospitals are not saying, oh, I got a $5 billion. Let me just write a check and just build one and be empty all the time. They foresee and they predict growth. They're ahead of the market all the time. Like most hospitals get built before the growth kicks in.
Yeah.
So here you go.
Yeah, South by Southwest is coming to town, and we'll be reporting boots on the ground. I still have to get my ticket, but we're going to take a look at the innovation and the things that are coming to all the industries, or specifically.
Yeah, I like that.
So we'll get a fresh perspective for you. But guys, that's the news, and so take it from here, Rosie. Let's hear what you got.
Well, thank you so much. First of all, I look forward to this weekly calls because Roger just sits hours and hours and hours and just locks himself in this office and sometimes coffee shops and is writing blogs and reading this. And I'm just secretly like waiting on the outside that when are you going to share all that with us? Because it helps us. Like we have properties on the market, and although you're not getting the offer in a first week or second week or third week, we have the confidence for our clients that this is a great price. You're going to sell because we know where the inventory is. We know what our competition is. And most importantly, we know what's coming. So this actually translates into conviction when we're actually helping people make a decision. So many people are concerned that what is my return now? I tell people all the time, if real estate is a short-term game for you, please don't play.
Yeah.
I have made way too many mistakes in real estate playing short-term games. Why are you laughing, Roger?
I just think I think the way that you're expressing it is beautiful.
Okay, I don't know if I said something wrong, I get corrected later. I'm calling it out now, to get it corrected now.
Yeah.
Okay, so where I'm going next is that today I would like for us to, like last week you got to see how Bree had negotiated a badass deal for our clients, right? Like 375 to 315. Bree, did we fund and close?
We did.
We did. Hello, right? And it is such a confidence for other people who are looking to just make TLC repairs and they think there are no deals on the market. There are deals on the market all the time. Let's talk about tracking real quick, right? So first of all, I didn't know where you were going with it. Like when your husband gives you a compliment in business, you don't know if it's a personal one or the business one. So this one thing actually works for us, business and personally. And I think I have been hearing it for decades. Like a lot of coaches that I've worked with, real estate and personal development coaches, have emphasized with us over time and time again that measure your progress, track your numbers. And we did track. And but the question was, were we tracking the lead measures or the lag measures? So at one point, I was tracking the lag measures. Like, okay, what is my outcome? I got one outcome. I got one success. I got two successes in a day. I got 3 wins in a day. But that was too discouraging because if I got a 0, I felt like all the work I did didn't amount to anything. Then I remember later in my life, one of my real estate coaches had explained to us, and his name is Ron Patulski. He mentioned that, Rosie, track your lead measure because your lag measure is a byproduct of your lead measure. And I was like, okay, what does that mean? He said, the outcome you're seeking is a byproduct of the input you're making. So let's track your input so that you can see that sometimes results are cyclical. They're not immediate, right? So then I started feeling good about the input I was making. So I just started tracking that. But then there was still an error with it. The error was that within that lead measure, there is something we do on day in, day out basis where lead measure is a byproduct of that thought process, of that activity. Everything I'm in a great coaching relationship and mentor relationship with Chase Hughes, who is the world's #1 behavior expert. And I aspire to learn from him every single week and transform us together and become better, because that's the best gift we can give each other, become a better version of ourselves. And I remember him emphasizing one thing. He said that try to make your outcome the byproduct of something. And that question has been burning inside me for almost a year. I was like, okay, how do I make this a byproduct? How do I make this a byproduct? And you know how you think on some things and all of a sudden it just clicks? So this year we have been talking about that, how we want to lead with connection and intention in our business. And Bree and I have multiple conversations during a week about that. And when we're working with someone, right, we are tracking, did we make that win for them, right? How many times did we follow up with them? How many times did we talk with them? But you know what? Like that can get lost in the repetition. Like us thinking that, okay, we're just because we're checking in with someone, we're staying on top of them. And I think Bree and I have a lot of brainstorming and workshop sessions around that. So the real question is, are we moving the needle with that person? So the question is like, why? Asking a why question with yourself and a what question for the business. Why am I committed to make it happen for someone? And why is it important to them? So understanding that why, and then what can I do today to move the needle for my client, for my family member, for my friend, whatever it is, right? Like this business has become like a family to us. Like people we work with have such an intimate relationship with us that we sometimes forget we're working with our family or we're working with our clients, right?
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful place to be at. And so I think this year our conversations in our business and team has been, are we moving the needle with that conversation? And we're tracking that. And Bree, like, do you want to kind of share what it has done for you? Like you have shared some big ahas with us in last few team meetings.
Yeah. So like you were saying, this year we are leading with connection and intention. And it's one thing to reach out to someone and say, what did you think about this? Or how are you? Or when are you planning on going on the market? Whatever the case may be, right? But if you actually think, okay, what is important to this person? Why were they wanting to do XYZ in the first place? And really start to kind of dive deeper into those more personable questions, the possibilities really open up. I mean, we were able to help someone find a home that this week that they've been looking for several months, just
Wow.
by asking the right questions. And we realized we had to make a pivot in our strategy because what was working for them from when we were originally talking wasn't the same as what they're wanting now.
Yeah, things change.
conversation, we wouldn't have known, and we wouldn't have been able to help them find what they were truly looking for.
And it is beautiful to be able to just give people permission to change their
Mm.
mind. You
Yeah.
know, it's just like, oh, you said that at that time. Why can't they change their mind?
Yeah.
What? Because we go as far as we can see. Like, there's some investors I'm working with right now, and we're dealing with some challenging situation. So sometimes we only gotta go as far as we can see, and once we get there, we'll see further. And courage that it takes, and a belief and system it takes to do that is not much different than a person who is just simply looking to succeed. But the only difference is that you got to remove yourself from the picture. Like, I remember, Bria, we were talking, like, we have this property on the market that is in a highly industrial area. And we were getting several phone calls. Like, the moment we clicked active, we have like hundreds of calls. It was hard to keep up. And the moment they found out that there was a due restriction to build commercial on it, everybody just turtled out and they're like, nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm good. And this client really trusts us. So the easiest thing was like, hey, it's not going to sell commercial. We just need to adjust the price. Let's just sell it residential. And I remember Bria and I have worked with this client before, and he has referred his family members and everybody to us. And the question was, will I be able to live with myself if we just did what's easy?
Yeah.
I mean, when somebody trusts you, there is a different DNA in us that just unlocks itself. And I remember I asked the permission. I said, "Do you mind if I just take a different route and explore this? Because I want to make sure that we have done everything in our imagination, in our ability to make it happen. And if it doesn't happen, then at least we got no regrets." And
Yeah.
we just like made the right decisions in that moment, you know. And I think, Roger, you were a big part of that conversation this past weekend. And we have a possibility that is going to transform not only one family's life, but the whole street in
The
that.
whole street.
How many families are going to be impacted just because we removed our ease out of the picture and we thought about them? So I feel like that's what real estate is all about. On that note, Bree, share with us. I'm excited to see what you dug out of this pile for us this week. Let's go.
Okay, before I do that, I just want to say, remember last week I had shared with y'all that there are some properties in East Austin that
Yeah.
this is not for investment, but everyone knows someone who might need a little bit of help with getting into a home.
Yeah.
Whether it's a niece or nephew, uncle, aunt, grandma, doesn't friend. Okay, so I just want to share with you. Let me share my screen really quickly. Okay, why is it doing that? Sorry, guys.
You're
You know, technology. Okay, you can see my screen or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know?
Okay. So check this out, guys. These properties are, look at this, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,579 square feet for $260 in Austin, Texas.
Whoa. That's a
What?
great zip code too.
Brand new construction. Look
Bree,
at
you know what I love about this place?
Why 260? Tell me, what am I missing?
Okay, so this it's a special program. Not everyone qualifies for it. But if you go to Habitat for Humanity, the income guidelines are listed here. So
Wow.
household, you can qualify for this property, buy your own piece of land in Austin, Texas for under $300,000.
Oh my
Guys, it's
God.
a 4-bedroom home. You can buy a home in Austin under 300K.
Look at this one, 235. And I mean, this one's smaller, 1,271 square feet, but you're in Austin.
Yeah, guys, put the word out there.
This is
You know,
for
someone-
homeowners, right? People who are going to live in it as a homestead.
Homestead, yes.
Okay. But if life happens and 6 months later, a year later, they're transferred, they can still rent or no?
That I would need to find out.
Okay, let's find that out.
Yeah.
But for all the people who think they have given up on the idea to own real estate in Austin, Texas, this is the great news. So if you have nephews and nieces, you have kids who just got married, who are about to get married, or you have a young child that's aspiring and wants to live on their own, let's not, Bree, you know what? Call Jeremy. Oh, I haven't. Yeah, we need to talk.
And
Call
Pooh.
Joanne and call Jeremy both. We need to talk about them.
Call Pooh as well.
Who?
Pooh.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Here you go. Hey.
shout out!
Love it.
How about everyone
I hope
watching?
you're watching and you know how much we love you all. We remember you by heart.
You know what I really love about what you shared, Bree,
Hmm.
is that I love the idea that this is going to help somebody out.
Yeah.
So we have clients from all across the spectrum, and I think, you know, as much as the idea about you know, honing in on a niche, I really like the fact that we work with a broad spectrum of people. We work with business owners,
Yeah.
and we help them find, you know, multiple properties, and we're also helping people find their first home. And this is beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
I had to take a picture. Oh, this is like monumental, you know. The day we said the Austin homes. I need to wipe my camera. Actually, I can't do that. I'm a little OCD like that, you know. This fogs me out. I don't know why. Okay. Ha ha ha. You guys don't have to look like a clowns and just
Document.
be real.
So, okay, that's the exciting news for that. So, if anyone knows anyone or wants to learn more, just shoot us a DM. I'll find out all of the information for you on that.
Let's work with Kay and let's blast it out to our whole database. Like people have kids who have not like wanting to buy. They need to know. This is very important.
They need to know.
Yeah.
But on the opposite side of the spectrum, for our investors, or maybe you just want to live in Temple. I don't know. Guys, have off-market deal. Okay. Brand new construction in Temple on the west side of Temple. Are you ready for the price?
I don't think I'm ready.
Can I make a guess?
I think Rosie knows the price.
Because I know.
No, you can't do that.
$239.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
But it gets better. But it gets better. For an investor, okay, with 25% down, 4.99 rate on a 10-6 arm.
Oh my God. Wow. Guys, it's 4.99 rate. You need to mark this a little bit more
And
seriously.
she did not mention this to me until now.
Like who's she? Like Nishi or Brishi?
What?
Who did not mention?
Oh, Bree didn't mention it to me.
Okay, I thought you're getting offended at me. I was like, I don't want to tell you everything. Like me and Bree talk.
Here, I'll actually share with you real quick. Why do I do settings? I don't know why I can't present today, guys. I want to just show you a brief so you can see a little bit.
Okay.
So, one car garage, concrete flooring, custom cabinetry, granite countertops. Each unit is 3-bed, 2-bath.
And you know what I love about those the most is the concrete, because you don't have a problem.
You're not going to have any problems with tenants. And
Great
guys,
restaurant.
if you're not looking for investment and you just want to potentially live there, I'm sure the builder could get you a lower rate, but this, you know, that particular deal is for investors, 4.99 rate. So investors, guys, 4.99 rate. I feel like I need to scream this. 4.99 rate, you know.
Wow, I'm just like a little shocked because we keep closing buyers on 3.99, 4.99, and people are struggling with 7.75, 6.75. I'm like, you're not seeing this inventory? Like, what's going on? Hey, thank you so much. What else, Bree?
So those were the two main ones for today.
Okay.
I do have some opportunities. If you have the sheet, be on the lookout. There's a property in Kyle. It's in the green. If you don't have the sheet and you want the sheet, message us and I'll send it to you. There's a property in Kyle that's in the green for rental.
Bree, before I forgot, reach out to Bali. His godson might need a home. So he is in Austin, so he might like that.
Okay. The Kyle one or the
No, the Austin, Texas one.
The Austin one? Okay.
You never know, like they don't have to give up on. It's just you always got to keep your money attached to real estate. That's how it grows. I advise people against cashing out on real estate because it just never makes sense.
So guys, I wanted to mention something before we actually, before we leave the call today. And that is that if you're thinking about buying real estate, Rosie and Bree brought up a good point. You might want to, if you're helping a family member out or any of these kinds of scenarios, they can be complicated to most people, but we have the right team in place that if you do want to buy some real estate with a family member, or maybe, if you're investing with a friend, it can, we've always heard don't do business with friends and it changes the dynamics or whatever. But if you really feel good about that relationship and y'all on the same wavelength, and you do want to buy real estate together, whether it's a joint venture or it's a syndication or whatever it is, we can put you in touch with the right lenders. And we also have real estate attorneys that are on board. We have vendors of all sorts. And so if you're looking to invest, don't let just a small detail get in the way. And, Rosie, Bree, I think investing is a mindset, because I've ran across so many people that when they were beginning over the course of my journey in real estate, they didn't have the money, but they had the drive, and they found the money. They found a family member, they found a friend, they found an opportunity. And so I just want to invite everybody and anyone to think about real estate. And if there's something specific that you're looking to do, bring it up in a conversation with us, and we'll be sure to help you explore those options. And so there's so many ways to get in the game, and we want to help you win. So
yeah. And Roger, I was gonna say, I really liked how you were telling people, start tracking the no's. Guys, literally track every time that you okay. You can't see it there, but track every time that you're opening the email. Maybe you just start by tracking that. Are you opening the emails that we're sending every week? Are you taking 10 minutes to look at them? Are you saying no to them? Track it. Then you might be able to see, okay, I've said no to 20 opportunities. What about these opportunities did I not like? Then share that information with us, and we can help guide you as to maybe what it is that you're looking for, and we can make a pivot.
And also for all the buyers and sellers out there, when you guys are looking at the properties with us, let's start tracking how many properties you're looking at and saying no to. Yeah. Because if we have seen over 10 properties and we're still saying no to it, there's fundamentally something wrong with the criteria, or we're looking in the wrong area. So something needs to change between price, location, and condition. And if you are not writing an offer because of some personal reason, then we readjust and then we pivot with Rivet.
Nice. And guys, we're using these trackers in our team. And if you feel like you could really benefit from them, please drop us a line. We love to share all the resources we have. We have books, we have trackers. If there's something that you feel like is going to bring you to your A game, we want to share those resources. So drop us a comment, share the video with somebody that you love, that you feel like could benefit from this. And we'd love to hear from you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. We spent around 43 minutes and 10 seconds with you guys today. And it is our intention to make the best use of it. So if you replay it and watch it, you find it valuable enough to click on that subscribe button.
Yeah.
Until then, our job is not done. So I hope you enjoy it. We look forward to your comments, your interactions, your engagement, and can't wait to see you next week.
All right. Bye. Take care.